San Francisco, a city shrouded in fog, its iconic skyline pierced by the looming silhouette of Alcatraz. A place of beauty and mystery, where shadows dance in alleyways and secrets linger like the morning mist. But beneath the city's alluring facade, a darkness festered. A specter haunted its streets, leaving a trail of blood and fear in its wake. The Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer. A name whispered in hushed tones, a chilling reminder of the city's brush with pure evil. This enigmatic figure, cloaked in secrecy, terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. He taunted authorities with cryptic messages, boasting of his gruesome deeds and threatening further carnage. Each unsolved murder, each chilling letter received, only deepened the mystery and intensified the terror that gripped the city. The Zodiac Killer became a ghost story for a generation. He was a boogeyman, a chilling reminder that evil could lurk even in the most picturesque corners of the world. His crimes transcended the boundaries of time, leaving an indelible mark on San Francisco's history and psyche. The Zodiac Killer remains an enigma to this day, a puzzle that continues to fascinate and horrify. The late 1960s were a time of great change and upheaval. The Vietnam War raged overseas. The civil rights movement shook the nation to its core. Amid this backdrop of uncertainty and unrest, a new kind of terror emerged in the San Francisco Bay Area. It began in December 1968 with the brutal murder of two teenagers on a lover's lane in Benicia, a quiet town northeast of San Francisco. Their tragic deaths, the first drops of blood spilled by the Zodiac, sent shockwaves through the region. The killer, however, was far from finished. Months later, another young couple fell victim to the Zodiac's brutality. This time, the attack occurred in Vallejo, a city just across the bay from San Francisco. The killer's brazenness escalated. He no longer lurked in the shadows, he seemed to revel in the fear he instilled. The city held its breath. Who would be next? The Zodiac's reign of terror unfolded like a macabre spectacle, each act more chilling than the last. His victims, mostly young couples, were chosen seemingly at random, their lives brutally extinguished in a flurry of violence. The killer took a perverse pleasure in toying with the authorities, sending cryptic messages to newspapers, boasting of his crimes and threatening further bloodshed. The Zodiac's first confirmed victims were David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, two high school sweethearts enjoying a date night in Benicia. Their young lives were cut tragically short on December 20th, 1968. When they were gunned down near their parked car on Lake Herman Road. The brutality of the crime shook the community to its core. On July 4, 1969, the Zodiac struck again, this time attacking Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau in the parking lot of Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. Darlene tragically succumbed to her injuries, while Michael, despite being shot multiple times, miraculously survived. His harrowing account of the attack provided the police with their first real lead, a description of the assailant. Section 4. Riddles in the Mail. The Zodiac's Cryptic Messages. The Zodiac Killer was not content with simply committing murder. He craved notoriety. He wanted the world to know his name, to tremble at his every word. To that end, he embarked on a campaign of terror through the mail, sending a series of taunting letters and cryptic cryptograms to local newspapers. These letters, often filled with bizarre symbols and coded messages, became a chilling hallmark of the Zodiac's reign of terror. They were his twisted masterpieces, puzzles designed to taunt and terrify. Some messages detailed his crimes, boasting of his brutality and mocking the authorities' inability to catch him. Others contained cryptic ciphers, tantalizing clues to his identity that he claimed would lead to his capture. The ciphers, a bizarre mix of astrological symbols, letters, and seemingly random characters, captivated the public's imagination. Amateur and professional codebreakers alike spent countless hours attempting to crack the Zodiac's code, hoping to unlock the secrets of this enigmatic killer. Section 5. The Hunt for a Phantom, Chasing Shadows in the Fog. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror plunged the San Francisco Bay Area into a state of fear and uncertainty. The police, working tirelessly to solve the case, faced a formidable opponent, a phantom who seemed to vanish into thin air after each attack. The lack of physical evidence, coupled with the Zodiac's taunting letters, only intensified the pressure on law enforcement. The investigation into the Zodiac Killer's crimes became one of the most extensive and frustrating manhunts in American history. Hundreds of potential suspects were investigated, thousands of leads pursued, Yet despite their best efforts, the killer remained frustratingly elusive. The lack of concrete evidence, coupled with the Zodiac's penchant for misdirection and deception, made it nearly impossible for law enforcement to gain a clear understanding of his motives or his identity. The Zodiac, it seemed, was always one step ahead, a master manipulator who reveled in the chaos he created.